Okay guys, I'm going to do a quick demo for you, and I'm really focusing in this demo on process and experimentation. So the way that I go about some of my process work is as I'm looking through magazines like old National Geographics, which I love for their natural forms and really beautiful images of animals and plants and landscapes. As I'm going through different resources that I might want to use, I cut out all my shapes. So I have a bag of shapes here. I have all these cut out, this one, and I just save all these as time goes by so that when I need them, I can just create something with them. Birds. I even have an old palette here with some paint on it. I might cut out some old Life magazine on birth, and then I have this piece of spectrum, like a rainbow image here. So I'm going to start with some gel medium. This is the matte medium that I wanted you to get. This is gel medium. You can buy matte medium or you can buy the glossy. And you pour a little out. Okay, so this is for my glue so that I can glue pieces down. I can brush that onto the back of my collage pieces that I'm gonna use and just like use it as a glue. And I can also, I'm getting you guys a glue stick. I've ordered it, but it won't arrive for another couple weeks. So this is good to use in general for glue, and also it's good for collage, and it's good for if you want to put a varnish over something on paper, like you can use a gloss medium. So I'm going to start with just this image in the center of the page. Okay, this is real quick. Just improvisation. Okay, and then I'm going to add this. I cut out this earlier, this from an old National Geographic. It's an orchid image. So I'm going to put my gel medium on the back of that real quick and go ahead and put that down in a second. I cut a hole in it, of course you can see, and I can always go back and perfect the glue job. Like I can go back to the corners later and glue it down really well, because my craftsmanship of course needs to be amazing, and yours needs to be amazing. So I'm gonna do this. I'm just working with shapes and patterns right now, just to give you an idea. Now the concept is also kind of nature meets culture, human meets non-human, organic meets geometric. Okay, so there is that. Let me close this window for a second. Okay. I had the window open because I'm going to be using a little spray paint, but I can open it back up. So I'm going to go with that, and then now I'm going to add this bit. This kind of like shell with its leg. So I'm adding kind of a human element along with the natural elements. Okay, let's glue that down. And I can always come back and paint over some of these shapes later, because I have paint here. You'll see in a second that I have some paint that I can work with. So, more gel medium. And the gel medium is great, but if you have a really thin kind of tissuey paper in your book, you may want to use more of a glue stick and try that out. But you got to kind of respond to what kind of paper your book has in it. And also, some of these older magazine pages, they're going to get they might get a little bit of a wrinkle in them. So you have to kind of pat it down. Like I said, go back and perfect the glue job later. Okay, so I've got my leg here ready, and then I'm going to put my shell. All right, shell, shell, shell. Getting my snail shell. Now the images, I cut out the snail shell because I had a dream about a sea snail, so I was interested in the shape of it. You know, it has this spiral shape, which is really interesting. And that shape kind of recurs throughout different cultures. Just as a side note, different mythologies, different cultures in different ways. And also kind of, it's also related to proportions in nature that have to do with a spiral. Okay, so what way do I want it? I'm doing it like this. Okay, so I'm gluing that down. And I want to experiment with something real quick. I got some spray paint and I got some bleach. So I may want to use some bleach and see if I spray it on there, if it actually affects the color in the flower, because it's old. The way they used to use pigment on magazines, a lot of times it responds to bleach on the older magazines. So I'm gonna figure out this hand where I want it. So I'm bringing another human element to this flower. Okay, let's see. Maybe here. Well, I don't know yet. Let's put, I'm gonna put that aside for a minute because I'm not sure yet. But so thinking about, I'm gonna try something with the spray paint real quick. Just to see what happens. I have this little shape that I cut out a long time ago. Of course, I saved it, which I want you to save all your shapes. I talked about that. I'm going to see about just spraying this and see what happens. Like a little part here. Just like real quick. I went the wrong way. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So I got a little shape here. And that's kind of nice because now I have gold on that, but I can always go over the whole thing gold later and save it. Okay, other shapes that I want to use. Well, let's try, I'm going to try one spray of bleach and see what happens with my kind of image. See if anything happens. May not. This is all, like I said, experimentation. So go with it and see what happens with it. Don't stop yourself. If you have an idea, try it out. That's what this book is for. And of course, your pages will be a lot smaller, some of them. So I've given myself some space to work here, but okay, let's see. I don't know. I need to figure out what I want to put in there next. I have the skull. No, it's a little too dark for me. I want it to be a little lighter in feeling, but I have all these shapes. Let's see. I have a frog. Well, let's go with some paint now. I'm gonna try some paint, and after this paint, I'm probably gonna finish the demo because there's always time to add later to this, and I may just sit with it for a minute and think, okay, I know where I want the hand, or you know, the hand needs to be here, or maybe there, maybe here at the top coming out. No, I like an asymmetrical balance, so I'll find some place to put it. But right now I'm gonna bring in some paint. So maybe on these dots here. I'm just showing you, and I'm just responding, you know, to what's there and accentuating. This is a fun process, and you're gonna enjoy doing it. So I can have that there. And because I sprayed the bleach, you see how it's bleeding the color, and that's kind of a nice effect. Because we do see that effect in flowers. Sometimes you see a flower, it looks almost like tie-dye, right? So I'm spraying it a little bit on the edge to bring out the pigment onto the page. Okay, this is turning out better than I thought it would. Okay. So, and then I might bring in like a dot of green somewhere. I'm mixing my blue and yellow over here. Like up in here maybe. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with that for now. I'm gonna kind of let you go with your own thing and see what happens. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with in this next round of assignments. And I'm going to be looking at your first assignment tonight and tomorrow. So looking at all of those and giving you feedback. Tomorrow we will have our class, as you know, at the first group at 9 o'clock and the second group at 10. All right, guys, so that's it for that. Thanks so much. Oh, let me zoom in on that so you can see. Kind of see it there.